why don't we go
Why
through
don't
today's topic? Oh, before we start today's topic, I just want to say apologies for missing previous episodes. So we'll do the intro one more time. I'm your host, live with
wait?
Enrique,
Oh, Ariana Villalon.
and this is Mixed Media. Thanks for tuning in. We missed last episode, so apologies about that. Yeah, I wanted to shout out happy birthday to Miyazaki once more. We happened to see a
Oh
movie about
yeah,
him, and the previous episode I didn't really make that big of a deal about it. I was just like, oh yeah, happy birthday. He's
it was
80.
a
I didn't really think of
documentary.
right. I didn't really think of it that way. But then when I saw him work on this masterpiece, what was the masterpiece? The caterpillar or the
I forgot the name, but yeah,
caterpillar
it's
born?
it's based off a caterpillar.
Right.
It's like a few minutes.
Yeah, it was just a
It's
couple
only
of minutes, but you can only find the movie in the Studio Ghibli, um,
in Japan.
in Japan. Yeah, in the Studio Ghibli museum in Japan, and I thought that was pretty beautiful. The story that they were able to tell, and I was just like, wow, that is just so inspiring. And I just wanted to say another shout out to him. Such a beautiful man. And then when I saw like the behind the scenes, it's not that I didn't respect Studio Ghibli. I really did because the first movie that you ever introduced me to was Spirited
Spirited Away.
Away, and I
It
was
was
just
just
completely blown away.
you got to see a side that you probably would never have seen. Like
Right. Because
he
now,
was he was vulnerable, he was
right.
frustrated, like you saw his
The
creative
artist struggle.
process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just goes to show just he's like such a professional, and to see
He's a
him
respected
struggle
artist,
himself,
yeah, to
yeah,
see that side.
that frustration come from him. It's just like it really got personal, and I really enjoyed that documentary. So if you guys get a chance, if you guys have HBO Max, I believe it's on YouTube as well, but for purchase. But we saw it on HBO Max on the animation side or Studio Ghibli section, I believe, and it was just it was the what Man of the Hour or something
I
like
can
that.
pull it up actually.
Beautiful. That's not today's topic. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about the MCU. I'm super excited. We were supposed to live stream, but because my partner and I, Dewey Loase, you can find him on social media. We've been working on side projects, and Quit Playing has been on hold as well. We missed an episode, and we will be missing this week's episode, so apologies in advance. But the name of the film is Never Ending Man.
Hey, hey yo.
Hayao Miyazaki.
Yeah.
I apologize for any disrespect, for any mispronunciation. But no, it was so cute. It goes to show that you have so much respect for these newbies coming in and using CGI. This 3D animation compared to what I know and what you introduced me to as 2D animation. But we'll go ahead and jump back into animation and get a little bit further into depth because that really inspired me, and I wanted to continue to have animation as a topic on the show because that art form is just crazy. To see that man work was truly inspiring as an artist, or
Oh
as just as
yeah.
an individual. But yeah, let's jump into today's topic. I am Vision,
Oh, and I decided to wear red for Wanda.
and we have the Mind Stone behind us. I know you guys are usually used to the blue. Um, And yeah, apologies. We only have one camera. I did not want to miss this week's episode because, as you guys know, I haven't been posting on the channel with videos as well. And I missed last week's episode. I definitely didn't want to miss this week's episode. So I was super happy that we at least got the chance to hold the mics instead of setting everything up and have just one camera rolling. So that way you guys could, still get to interact with us because I thoroughly enjoy this show.
Oh yeah,
It's
I
an a lot
love.
of time for us to
Yeah,
spend time together.
it's time that for ourselves, just to chat about things that maybe we don't have time to chat.
About necessarily,
Yeah.
yeah, because we both get to do research on it and stuff like that. But yeah, we wanted to talk about the MCU, and the reason why we had talked about Cowboy Bebop in episode 5 was because as we mentioned in episode 5, WandaVision came out on Friday of not
Maybe
last
two
week, but
weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. And so we're like, you know what, let's talk about WandaVision in continuation of um, the MCU and sort of where it started, how it came about, and where they are now. They had 4 phases. They're in phase 4 now, And yeah, I think the Marvel Cinematic Universe is amazing. It all started with the first Hulk. Do you remember which Hulk I'm talking about?
Um, no.
um, it was with that one actor. It was in 2008. It began with I don't know the actor's name. Jeez Louise.
Not the one actor in Avengers, right? Not that
Mark,
Hulk.
not Mark Ruffalo, but the other one. Do you know which one I'm talking
Oh no,
about
I've
first?
never seen that one. Oh wait.
With this guy.
Oh wait, no, I've seen that one.
Yeah, we've seen it.
2003.
Hulk was played by Eric Eric Bana. Oh no, I'm sorry, not that one. Oops. Oh, the Incredible Hulk.
I'm trying to think. There was another one though. Him, yeah. I've seen.
Hold
Yeah.
on, no, Lou Ferrigno
Okay,
played the
yeah.
original 70s Hulk, where he was just painted green. He was a bodybuilder. He was swole. He was huge, and that was like a TV show that Stan Lee was behind because he tried doing something that Kevin Feige did, as we watched that in the behind the scenes. Um, Stan Lee was trying to do something what Kevin Feige was trying to do and create like a Marvel Cinematic Universe, and he had Lou Ferrigno play Hulk in the 80s in the TV show, but he actually made an appearance in the 2000 version of the Incredible Hulk where Edward Norton.
Yeah, that's the one
Edward
that I
Norton,
remember.
he played
Edward.
the Incredible Hulk, and that's sort of when it started off. So in 2008, that's where the MCU started, and it didn't go in chronological order. I believe like if you want to watch that, you want to watch the first Avenger, which is Captain America movie, then Captain Marvel, and something like that. But if you want to watch the order that they were released in, I believe it was the Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, then Thor, and so on and so forth. And I think it's amazing what they did with this franchise. We had spent a time where we watched all of them together, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
Tell me what you thought about all of
Iron
them.
Man.
Yeah, where we watched
Like
all the Iron
everything?
Mans, the Hulks, and stuff like that, all the Thors.
Yeah. It. I mean, I love watching MCU, the movies,
Mm-hmm.
like everything about it. And I appreciated that you introduced Iron Man because I didn't really know much about his backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Or really cared to actually. He was kind of not my favorite
Character.
superhero. Yeah.
Yeah.
But after watching his solo movies, yeah, mad respect to him. Um,
If I'm not
he was a
mistaken,
wonderful actor.
yeah,
He was a
Robert
wonderful
Downey
actor.
Jr. was a risk at first because of his past and stuff like that. I know it's a very sensitive, touchy subject for him, but he did have some problems. If you want to look into that, it's not going to be discussed here. Go do your own research. But he was sort of considered a reliability or a liability, and Happy was actually the director of Iron Man. So he's the one that got Robert
Oh.
Downey Jr. to play him, and it's funny because as the franchise grew and as he grew as a character, he was paid, I believe, about 10 million just to appear in Spider-Man Homecoming for about a few minutes in that
Wow.
scene where he came out. 10 million? Isn't that freaking crazy? Anyways, we're not here to talk about Iron Man and stuff like that. Well, I mean, we are, but yeah, I think it's incredible what they did with the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the franchise, and what they're doing with Phase 4 is now they're using these characters um, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and creating their own shows. Am I happy that Disney Plus bought out Marvel? No, they're a conglomerate that needs to be taken down because they already own like ESPN, National Geographic, a lot of the news networks, Star Wars franchise, all this
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, they're
They have
huge.
everything.
There's a map. If I could show it one day, I will. But it's incredible to see how much Disney has owned and the government has allowed them to continue to purchase these news outlets and stuff like that. Disney is way too big. But after Disney bought them out and Disney bought out Fox, it's amazing because with WandaVision, spoilers ahead. If you have not seen WandaVision, get out of the video now.
Or pause and go watch it. And then
Yeah,
come
or
back.
pause and go watch it. Edward Norton. Oh, hello, mother. I love you. Thank you for tuning in.
Hello, welcome.
Welcome. If you have anything to say, Mom, if you've seen it, please chime in. But if you haven't seen it, go watch it and don't watch this video because I'm about to give a bunch of spoilers. But yeah, what the Marvel Cinematic Universe is doing is they're continuing these heroes and characters storylines via shows and still incorporating them in movies, which I think is phenomenal. I think it's fantastic. And we had the chance to watch episodes 1 and 2 that Friday that it was released. So that's why we waited, and we were going to do it in last week's episode, but fortunately we weren't. Unfortunately, we weren't able to.
Timing wasn't right.
Right, and then there was a third episode released this past Friday, and we're like, whoa, we definitely got to talk about it. And yeah, what do you think of the show? What were your first initial thoughts on the show, episodes 1 and 2, before we jump into episode 3?
All right, don't attack me in the
Comments.
in the chat, in the comments. Don't put that dislike button. But I was yawning.
You know what? And I'm happy you said the truth because I did not like it.
No, it was tough to sit and watch.
But you know what? I think it's because of the way it was filmed.
Well, yeah, of course. It was black and white. It was like a modern I Love Lucy. But I feel like it wasn't even just that, because I've seen episodes of I Love Lucy, and that's a pretty good show.
And it's funny you say that. I think it's a terrible show. I do not like I Love Lucy. And that goes to show why I don't like WandaVision in episode 1 and 2.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the visual aspect, it being black and white, it threw me off. Yeah, I don't know. There was just no connection with me and the characters. Yeah, it was a tough start, but definitely as the episodes go on, yeah, I'm getting interested. Not only because of, obviously the color, now that it's in color, but it was even just the characters. I don't know.
Well, in episode 2 and 3, the plot thickens.
Yeah,
it continues to move forward.
Right. Substance in the first.
Exactly, and I think that's why I didn't like it, because the comic or the comedy was different. They not only filmed it as if it were being filmed in the 60s, but the comedy was as if it were being filmed in the 60s. And I love what they're doing with it. Not only are they going with the times and the times that it was supposed to be filmed, but like the format, the comedy, the references, the way. I think everyone on set did an amazing job with the costume design, set design, like stuff like that. The acting was great. It's just the storyline was a little bit too far extended. I feel like there could have been more information provided, like flashbacks or something like that. I know it wouldn't have gone with it, but as we move forward, it is getting juicier. So I wasn't really fond of episode 1 or 2.
And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, because we were watching the Easter egg videos
by Emergency Awesome. If you aren't subscribed, go subscribe to Emergency Awesome.
Yeah, very informative. He does his research.
Yeah.
I think another reason why I felt disconnected is because I don't know anything about Wanda or Vision besides what's communicated in the MCU.
Yeah.
In the MCU.
Right.
So when he's mentioning all of these Easter eggs, I don't have any knowledge of it. So it's like I can't get excited and be like, "Oh, this is in reference to the comic book," because I have never read any of the comic books. So it's kind of like, "Oh, I feel, I'm feeling FOMO." I'm feeling left out because I don't know much besides, them in the movies, and they're not real. There's not really much content with them.
Yeah. No, yeah, and I hear that. Maybe they did depend on people's knowledge a little bit too much, but for like, I mean, I understand.
I mean, you're
gonna
different
be some
because you have more knowledge, and obviously you're like, oh, did you see that? Like,
right, and I do point out some Easter eggs, but there are some that he pointed out that I didn't know of, and I have to go back and do research. And nowadays, I feel like if you're a child and you started off in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you're having troubles keeping up with a lot of the Easter eggs. I mean, some kids read fast. Well, I'm a slow reader, but
I feel like nowadays though, like yeah, it's all about researching the internet,
because there's a lot of Easter eggs, and if you don't know them, you're just like you're not understanding why
it's
the
such a
producers
big deal, or why they put that in there.
Exactly. And for me, there was a bunch of Easter eggs in 1 and 2. One that I already was aware of going into it because, Hydra, that's who they volunteered to work with.
Yeah.
That's how they got their powers in the MCU. the sword, the symbol of the sword. The agency that Nick Fury. So this is all in the comic book, so I already knew what to expect. I knew these Easter eggs, but some of them I wasn't made aware of until I watched Emergency Awesome, where I'm like, that's what that means, you know. And it wasn't until episode 3 that was released this Friday. I actually enjoyed. It was still nonsense. It still had like the comedic relief of like a 70s show, like what's that one? The Brady Bunch.
Oh yeah.
It was a very like Brady Bunch. I don't really like the Brady Bunch too much, or their style of comedy, but I understood it, and I did get a couple laughs here and there. I would only watch it on rare occasions when my parents would have it on, or when it was on in the stores or whatnot. But yeah, I was just never into those shows, so the comedy didn't really hit me. But it wasn't until more and more was like being dumped out. Like in episode 2, when one of the agents came out of the sewer, and I'm just like, oh, she is not
to go down.
right. She is not only the protagonist; she's the antagonist. Like in these first episodes, they make you think like, who's doing this to you, Wanda? Who's doing this? When in reality, it's all her.
It's you, baby.
And it goes to show, like, okay, this is a reference to House of M, the comics,
comic, yeah.
right? And you have yet to read those comics, but I'm excited to show you.
I have a little knowledge from that video that we saw, because not gonna lie, I'm more of X-Men universe.
And she's from the X-Men universe. Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy? So is Quicksilver. And in episode 3, they did mention her brother, and how he was killed in Ultron, and she went R.I.P. She was berserk. But I was telling Ariana, you know, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch didn't come about from Loki's staff and being tested by Hydra. That was in the MCU. But in the comics, they're actually Magneto's kids. And they did that perfectly with Quicksilver in the X-Men universe with Fox, because Peter McDavid, what's his name? Evan Peters, yes. Evan Peters
Can
plays.
never remember his name.
No disrespect, Evan Peters. But yeah, no, Evan Peters plays Quicksilver. And in the movies they mention, or they sort of acknowledge, or acknowledge that Magneto is indeed his father.
Yo, that's crazy.
I said, dude.
Wait,
yeah,
so
but they
then
don't
who-
mention Scarlet Witch.
Who's the mom?
That you will find out.
Oh, juicy.
Did she die?
Probably. That's how it usually goes.
I can't tell you, even though I most likely just ruined it for you. Anyways, yeah, I enjoy the Easter eggs. It's very like subtle. Some are obvious. It did start off rough, but personally, after watching episode 3 and after watching her have her children, Billy and Tommy, which are also in the comics.
Yep.
One of them has Scarlet Witch's powers. The other one has Quicksilver's. Right.
Viz.
No, not Viz's.
Oh.
No, they have
Her brothers?
similar powers to her
Aw.
brother and herself.
Oh, well, 'cause Viz is not even...
He's
He's a robot. Oh,
right,
yeah.
he's a robot. And in the House of M, remember, she created these children. So
Oh.
upon the show, she created these children. She didn't have these children with Vision, because remember, Vision is dead.
Yeah. Yep. Sorry.
But what's crazy is something that I noticed immediately, and something that I didn't really think about, is when I forgot what her name is. The actress that was there when Wanda gave birth was kicked out. Georgina, yeah. No, was it Georgina?
It started with a G, I think.
I
Maybe
think
it
you're
was.
right. I think you're right. After mentioning her brother and her passing, she got very upset. And remember, the way they were filming it was in the 70s, or what Wanda wanted to be in the 70s, right? So as she kicks her out of what I
Her
call
reality, or
her cocoon, her cocoon of her reality, her character is still in the 70s clothes, which is mind-blowing, because then when we were watching the Easter egg videos, they mentioned it. I was like, yeah, I noticed that. That's not a big deal. But when he went to realize, or made me realize, is although she kicked her out and she's still wearing the 70s clothes, that means whatever Wanda's creating in her reality, in her cocoon, can then come out in real life. So it's possible that Vision will then be alive when she ends this cocoon or ends this reality. They're saying there's rumors and
Predicting.
yeah, predicting that this is how the X-Men are going to be introduced.
Oh.
Because Nick Fury, so one of the Easter eggs, I believe it was on Spider-Man: Far From Home, when the Skrulls pretend to be Nick Fury.
Mhm.
Remember that in Far From Home? So
Mhm.
they were
Mhm.
talking, and then it was Agent Rose, Agent Ross, Agent something that was talking to Nick Fury.
Yeah.
They were Skrulls, remember? And then the Skrulls were talking to Nick Fury, but he was on a spaceship in space. Do you remember that? That ending credit,
I think
post credit
so.
scene.
Yeah.
Well, that's when,
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
yeah, that's when he made this sort of. It's a shield initiative with swords, and this initiative sort of overlooks people with abilities. X-Men. Yep.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? So they found a way to sort of all tie it together, and I think
Yeah.
that was pretty amazing. And yeah, I'm excited because whatever she create, like her children, she created now. In House of M, Xavier comes in and tells Scarlet Witch or Wanda, she's just like, "You have to end this," and her children are gone. They're doing a separate take, and I believe in the House of M or in a different comic, she does have those children. Um,
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, what happened when Dr. Xavier told her that it wasn't real? The kids just were never born.
right. Well, they like everything was crumbling around her, and she's like, "No, my babies are gone. They're dead." But you haven't read the comics, and I'm excited to continue this conversation about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and we're definitely going to be talking about Easter eggs in each episode, sort of reviewing it and recapping it. Uh, we're still trying to figure out this date because the love of my life here is telling me Tuesdays might not work,
Well,
which is understandable. But we also discussed, even if I can't make an episode, she will be hosting the show on her own. But everything is just still in the air, sort of being worked
we're
on
working
because
on it.
yeah, we're working on it. But it's exciting because I definitely want to be talking about, probably the day of when it's released. I wouldn't mind like setting up a live stream like, oh, we just reviewed. Oh, we
We got
got
a twerk fest over here.
we got a twerk fest.
Where are my dollar bills?
What? Oh no. People just got into the house. But yeah, we're working on perhaps getting a studio. Not perhaps, we're working on getting a studio. So hopefully, Boo is
More
able to just
consistent.
more consistency and pushing out content, whether it be live streams, videos, photo shoots, so on and so forth. My partner and I have been doing big projects, big clients, and
No, you're sure.
oh yeah.
Hey, yo, if you're in the Chicago
If you're in the
area,
Chicago area, go stop by Semia's where I got this shirts. Beautiful
plants.
people.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, and beautiful plants. We are lucky enough to we didn't steal. We bought 2 plants. And man, are they beautiful. I love them. But yeah, that was sort of my take on the show. I wasn't too fond of the first 2 episodes. The third episode is where it really starts to pick up, and you're like, whoa. Like I now have something to look forward to on Fridays. Like, ooh, they're gonna release a new episode. We saw
Yeah, I'm
Legends.
excited for what is to come.
Yeah, because
Like,
the new Spider-Man movie and potential Spider-Verse with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. Like these are all speculations, but stuff that we would love to talk about as well, along with anime and different types of arts. Because this is still an art form, directing and producing. Costume design and stuff like that, and
hopefully,
comic
having
books.
other artists.
Other
on.
artists, yeah, I would love to talk about it with them as well. But yeah, enough ranting from me. Why don't you give people a little bit of a scoop on an update on you, what you've been doing, and how you been?
Oh, okay, yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, I'm working at I wish was a 9 to 5, but yeah, I have that. I have my, my regular job, but I've been embroidering. So
Awesome stuff to
I
come.
made some fun designs yesterday. I thought, why not? So I'm jumping back into that, and hopefully I can share that, with you guys on this channel, and we can
Mhm.
discuss it, because embroidery is a whole other world. Like, it's just crazy how much I'm learning right now. And yeah, hopefully soon we can share our designs here and things we want to do with them.
Yeah, sort of talk about, how intricate and how sometimes simple it can
Oh,
be, and how beautiful embroidery can be and sewing can be, and
the
more of your plants.
patience
Yeah, you need patience
that
for
you
that.
got to put in
More
and
importantly, not
realize.
patience, but you need time, because it takes time,
Yeah,
and that's
definitely.
crazy. But yeah, that's really awesome. We've both been working very hard on our own stuff, and it's exciting because although we're working hard on this other stuff, it's hard to maintain the stuff we already started, And I was super bummed. Again, apologies that we missed last episode, but I can assure you this will be consistent. And yeah,
We're
I
gonna
haven't.
make it work.
We it's gonna work regardless. But yeah, I haven't posted a video in all of 2021, and January is almost up.
You haven't posted a photo, any photos on Instagram.
Since 2020. Yeah, I've just been more so focused on live streaming, so keeping up with the show that my partner and I have, my business partner and I have, called Quit Playing. If you don't already, go follow that channel, Quit Playing. We live stream every
Quit playing.
Mondays.
Go follow that channel.
Yeah, Quit Playing. Go follow us. We live stream every Mondays and Wednesdays at 7:30 Central Standard Time. Tuesdays you can find us here. We will keep you posted on the if we update the schedule,
Yeah, we'll get back to you.
whatever works best for us. But yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed our episode on the MCU. We sort of talked about when it started, how it
Our
started,
reaction, our thoughts.
to WandaVision. Yeah, because the Marvel Cinematic Universe definitely goes into depth, and I wanted to go and talk about each movie, but you can't cover that in 30 minutes. That's a lot of info. So I definitely would love to come back and revisit MCU, but enough of MCU. What you can expect on the next episode. Super excited. Dun-dun-dun.
Dun-dun-dun.
Next episode, which was supposed to be talked about on this episode, is going to be photography. I'm going to be jumping into my profession. Ooh. Maybe there will be a guest.
Oh.
Maybe not. We'll see. I definitely wanted to talk about my profession, where it all started, where I started. I know I gave you guys a little bit of backstory, but I wanted to go in depth into my field, and what I do, what I'm doing right now, because I can't really get into all of it right now. And then after next week's episode, you can also look forward to talking about graphic design and illustration. Super excited for the episode and the content to come. But thanks again for tuning in on Mixed Media
Episode
6.
6.
Give me the other 3.
Oh.
6. Tune in next week where we talk about all things photography. Until next time, we're your hosts, Live with Enrique.
Ariana Villalon.
Peace, you two.